Hi friends, and welcome back to Move with Katie on our 31 day yoga challenge. This is day 17, and we are going to be again covering some basics. But today, these basics are going to be for handstands. Now, if handstands are not in your practice and you don't want them to be, no problem. A lot of the exercises we'll be doing are strengthening exercises that are good for all parts of your yoga practice. But there will be some handstand specific exercises towards the very end of this video. If handstands are in your practice, it's always good to go back to basics, so I encourage you to come along with me. Now, these are not a necessary part of yoga. It's not something you have to do, but I find them super fun and super engaging for my mind. They help me to be more present, and so it's something that has definitely encouraged me along my practice, and so I hope that the same will be true for you. So to start off with, as with every practice, I want us just to take a moment to drop into this space and time in our bodies. So take a comfortable seated position. Inhale in and close the eyes as you exhale, lengthening through the spine. And let's just take 3 deep breaths. Filling the lungs through the nose, exhaling through the nose. Inhaling and exhaling, settling into this space. One more time, big inhale in. And as you exhale, maybe this time you part the lips and sigh it out. Let it go. And then let's flutter the eyes open, and we're going to start just by shaking the wrists out. So there are a few things that are really important to handstands. One is wrist strength. So the first thing we're going to be doing is working on those wrists. The second is thinking about our proprioception. So how do we know where our body is in space? And a lot of things that might help with that are thinking about our gaze or our drishti, where we are staring, where we are looking, and what our brain thinks is happening. So we're going to play with gaze second. Let's take the hands, interlace them, and roll the wrists out. Third, we are going to look at shoulder stability, okay? Shoulder and core stability are essentials for a handstand practice because you are standing on your hands. That's where your wrists come in, but it's really all of those core elements, the shoulders and the abdomen, that are really doing a lot of the work of keeping you vertical. We're going to look a little bit at hamstring strength as well. That is, or hamstring flexibility. That is something that helps with handstands. And then the last thing we'll do is practice some drills that can get you upside down, okay? So rolling the wrists out, first thing we're doing, wrist strength, okay? We're going to take another few wrist exercises here. So let's come into a tabletop position, and instead of pointing the fingertips forward, we're going to point the fingertips out towards the edges of your mat. Pull the belly button to the spine, knees, hips distance apart, and we're just going to sway back and forth. Okay, I'll face you, show you what this looks like. We're just sending shoulders, sending the weight one side to the other. We're not moving the whole body. We're moving the shoulders over the wrists so that the wrists are really feeling that flexion, okay? Lubricating the wrist joints, all right? So moving back and forth a few times. Let's be checking in with the core too, engaging the belly button towards spine, warming up there as well. And then another nice wrist strengthening exercise is to take those fingertips and point them back towards the knees, coming onto the backs of your hands. And let's squeeze the fingertips into fists and then open. Squeeze them into fists, open. Activate the core, squeeze them into fists, open. Let's do 5 more. Squeeze, 1. Squeeze, 2. Squeeze, 3. Squeeze, 4. Squeeze, 5. Okay, nice work. Then from here, we're going to do a little bit of core and shoulder work, okay? So first things first is we are going to do some shoulder protracts and retracts just to start to build stability. So when we retract our shoulders, we're letting the chest depress and the shoulder blades are squeezing together as if you could smush a blueberry in between them. And then protracting, we're going to spread the shoulders apart, okay? Opening up, pushing the floor away. This push is how your shoulders are in handstands, okay? So you're pushing the floor away. Shoulders together, squeeze the blueberry, push the floor away. Together, push, push, push. Now, we've been doing this here on our knees. I want to invite you to walk the hands a little bit more forward and lift up into a plank. So we're starting to build that stability. Retract, protract, retract, protract, okay? Pushing the floor away. That push is what you're really going to feel in a handstand, okay? It's pushing the floor away. That's where your shoulders will be. Let's send the hips high to a downward facing dog. Walk out the dog, and then we'll do a couple more of those shoulder protracts and retracts. Here in a downward dog, getting closer to the vertical position that we might be in a handstand. So push the floor away. Feel as your body moves away from the floor, as your shoulders push away, okay? That same push is really where you're going to be working. Now, keep the floor pushed away, and I'm going to invite you to claw through the fingertips. So you might even press the finger pads so tightly into floor that you spider the fingers, okay? So you start to notice the middle knuckle is pushing upward. This clawing motion can help you build stability in the wrist and really make sure you're pushing the floor away. It can be very helpful in finding handstand stability. Let's relax the fingers, relax the shoulders. Let's do that one more time. Exhale, push the floor away, claw the fingers into the floor, really activating. Feel how that activates every muscle in your arms. That's what you want in a handstand because that's where we're standing. Now we're going to play with some proprioception. So relax the shoulders a bit, relax the fingers, and I want you to pick a spot on the floor that we're going to gaze at that's slightly behind your thumbs, maybe in line with the wrists. And we're going to stare at that spot as we shift our weight forward, coming into a high plank, and then shift your weight back. Shift your weight forward, staring at the same spot, and then shift your weight back. Shift the weight forward. So you're playing with your gaze here, teaching your body that no matter where the weight is over your wrists, over your shoulders, you can stare at that same point so that you can teach your brain you are safe when you are upside down. Okay? Excellent job. Now we're going to take a minute off of our hands here to work on some hamstring flexibility, okay? Because that's a lot of what is needed to press up to a handstand as well. By pulling the right knee in, step the foot forward, drop the back knee, and let's take that Ardha Hanumanasana half split. Take this moment to roll out the wrists, circling one direction and then the other, and letting the heart melt, really feeling as you pull the left hip forward and the right hip back and really stretch out through that hamstring, okay? And then we're gonna get into a couple of handstand drills. So we've worked our wrists, we've worked our shoulders, we've worked our gaze, our proprioception, and now we're working our hamstrings. Those are all the things that I do to warm up for handstands every single time that I do them. Exhale, bending into that front knee, and then let's compress the knee into chest, step it back, reach the left foot forward, and send the hips back into that Ardha Hanumanasana. Nice half split, good hamstring stretch here. Inhale, heart forward, exhale, lower. Good work. Let's inhale, bend back into that knee, and then step the foot forward. Okay, we're gonna swing the feet around to either side and reach the legs in front of you and come to be against a wall. I'll give you a minute to move your mat there so you can tell we're filming in a slightly different location today for just that purpose so that we can have a little wall to rest our feet on. And you're going to set your hips right against the wall. We're going to take a forward fold first. Again, another nice stretch for our hamstrings. So inhale, reach the arms up high. Feel the arms flat against the wall, okay? This is the kind of extension you're going to want. So let's practice that proprioception or that protraction and retraction. Inhale, lift the shoulder, shrug the shoulders up, exhale, lower the shoulders. Shrug, lower, shrug, lower. A lot of what we're doing when we are doing handstands is shrugging, pushing the floor away. Inhale here, keep that shrug. Then as you exhale, fold forward, front into a seated forward fold. See if you can pull the toes back, really feel that nice juicy stretch in the hamstrings. Now, another important part of handstands is believing you can do it. So if you think you can, you can. If you think you can't, you can't. Henry Ford said that way back 100 years ago. And I think it rings true for everything. So I want you in your mind right now to say, I can do this. I am willing to try new things, and I am capable. Okay? Those are all the things that handstands can teach us. Inhale, let's lift the heart. Okay, from here, we're going to turn around and take this forward fold stance, and we're going to use the wall to help us. So you're going to press your feet up against the wall and then set your hands down next to your hips. And we're going to use the wall to help us learn to balance, okay? So again, remember that proprioception drill we did? Shifting our gaze forward and back. That can help us to become confident mentally, to go upside down, and now using the wall in very intelligent ways, not leaning against it, not banana backing against it, but using it to support us in our practice can help us to build the strength we need to get up into a handstand. So put your hands next to your hips, and then we're going to keep one hand down and then replace the hands, keep them in that position. This is how far you want to be away from the wall, okay? So that your legs are going to make a nice L shape. We're going to practice this L shape to build shoulder stability. So the first thing I want you to do is press the floor away, round through the back body, feel that protraction, okay? So you're really pressing the floor away. Begin to claw through the fingertips, come up onto the toes, shift your weight forward, pick that gaze point, shift forward, and then shift your weight back. Shift forward, up, lift the hips, shift back. Shift forward, press the floor away, claw through the fingertips, then shift your weight back. Now we're going to climb our feet up the wall, okay? So placing the feet on the wall, we're going to come into an L shape. I'll give you a minute to watch and then move as feels good. So again, pressing the floor away, clawing through the fingertips, and just using the feet to find some stability. So you're making a nice L shape. Actively engage the core. Press the floor away. Biceps reach towards the ear, or triceps reach towards the ears. Okay? Then maybe you start to play with lifting one foot up. Actively engage the glutes, squeeze everything. Maybe you set that foot down and engage through the opposite leg. Lifting the leg up, actively engage the core, not reaching over too far. You're not falling away from the wall. You're keeping that other foot firmly glued. Let's lift each leg 5 times. 1, right, 2, lift, 2, lift, right, 3, left, 3, right, 4, push the floor away, left, 4, right, 5, left, 5, push the floor away, gently walk the fingertips down. Maybe take a little malasana. Slowly bring the wrists together and work them out here, okay? That's one drill that you can do. Since we've done it once here in our practice today, we're only going to do it the one time, but you can go away from this video and practice on your own time whenever you need. Now we're going to practice one more drill, and this one is jumping up towards the wall, okay? So maybe point the fingertips down, bring the backs of the hands together, really stretch out those wrists. And now we're going to move so that we're facing the wall. Bring your hands so that they are maybe one hand's distance away from the wall. And we're going to come up by first practicing a step. So everyone meeting in a downward dog, press the floor away. And we're going to step the right foot in, come onto the toes, and then puff up the back of the heart, press the floor away. That's step 1, okay? Now go back to downward facing dog, settle here. Press the floor away, step the right foot forward, round through the back body, and then we're going to take a hop up, bending the left leg. The right leg will stay straight. The left leg will connect with the floor, with the wall, okay? In a nice bent position. So that's what we're going to practice. We're going to do 5 hops on each side. So everyone's starting in a downward dog, about one hand's length away from the wall. Take your baby step in with the right foot, puff up the back of the heart, press the floor away, then jumping off the right foot, left toes tap the floor, right leg stays straight. Excellent. Pick your drishti, looking at your gaze on the floor. Right foot down, step it back, downward dog. Again, right step in, puff up the back of the heart, jump off the right leg straight, left foot taps the wall. Lowering, that's 2. Downward dog. We'll reset every time. Right foot in, round the back body, push the floor away, jump off, touch the toes, down to downward dog. You got it, 2 more. Right toe step in, round the back body, pick your drishti, push the floor away, claw through the fingertips.
Lowering, last one. Make it your best one yet. Right toes forward, puff up the back of the heart, claw the fingers, pick your drishti. And then maybe here we stay. You play with extending both legs. Maybe you see if you can catch that hold. You got it. Before gently lowering right foot back to floor. Then let's take a little stand. Shake the wrists out. And we're gonna do that on the left leg. And then it'll be your time to go and practice however you feel good. Okay, so we've practiced a lot of good basics here. Roll the wrists out. And then let's find that downward dog. This might be your awkward side, or maybe it's your good side. Just notice the differences here, no judgment. So we're in your downward dog, about one hand's distance away from the mat or from the wall. Step your left foot in, and we're just gonna practice rounding through the spine and kicking the right leg up. Remembering this time the left leg stays straight and the right toes will bend to meet the wall. Okay, step back, downward dog. Left toe step in about 2/3 of the way from your hands. Lift the right toes, and this time round through the back body, and we're gonna jump up. Right toes meet the floor, left leg stays straight. Then lowering left toes, right toes, downward dog. Good work. Left toe step in, puff up the back of the heart, kick off the toes. Those right toes hit the wall. This is my awkward side. And then go ahead, left toes straight, come down, step back, downward dog. 3 more. Left toes step in, jumping up and off. Right toes hit the wall, left hand straight. You'll notice you're not leaning against the wall at any point. So we're not teaching our back to banana. We're teaching our core to stay nice, strong, and stable so that hips are stacked over shoulders and wrists. Left toes come down, step back, downward dog. 2 more. Step the foot forward, lifting up and off. Right toes bend, left leg straight. Lowering down. And then the last time, and we'll stay here and we'll hold. Step it forward with the left toes, kick up and off, left leg straight, right toes to the wall. Press the floor away. See if you can actively engage the core. Shrug, claw through the fingertips, and find that hold. Good work. Gently lowering down, coming to the knees. Inhaling, shake out the wrists, shake out the hips. And that is it. Those are your handstand basics. I hope that all of these fun tips can help you prepare, practice, and play for a future of hand balancing. Thanks so much for joining me today, and I look forward to seeing you again tomorrow. Ciao, y'all.